És a mitjanit a Barcelona. Puc veure com passa el vent.
Just stop doing it. It's very simple. You don't need to, I mean, it might help to have some, massive infrastructure spending, but I was in Spain 2 years ago, and I drove from Madrid out to Ogrove, from Ogrove to Santiago de Compostela, up to Asturias, Cantabria, to San Sebastian and back down. I saw one hole in 2,000 kilometers in the road. Spain's infrastructure is pretty damn good. So you're not going to get much multiplier bang by doing that. But simply, the economy itself has powerful tendencies to heal. Not all the time. Very serious depressions, particularly man-made depressions like austerity, do need to be compensated. After all, you're going to have to get your children home and you're going to have to get them jobs at some point after 5 years of destroying them. But at the same time, if we simply stop doing it, then the economy can start to recover. Just now, across the world, we see this as an experiment. The Americans have not cut, at least not significantly, apart from the sequester. And the economy is growing, haltingly, but it's growing. The Brits, who had all the same advantages, the British, had all the same advantages of the Americans, their own currency, so that they could devalue and so on. They decided to cut. They now have a 7% budget, well, a 6% budget deficit, and more debt rather than less. And their economy has been flatlined for 5 years. And in Europe, where they've cut the most, we see that basically the economy has contracted, GDP has collapsed, and unemployment has rocketed. So it's a very simple lesson. We don't need grand schemes. We don't need enormous initiatives. We don't need hundreds of billions of dollars of bond raising and spending. I just have a very simple proposal. Please, just stop doing it. Because the yields are not going to go up again if we stop doing it. Because the yields were going up because of a banking problem. So if we solve the banking problem, then the yields stay down, the debt gets rolled over, and the economies can start to grow. And when those economies start to grow again, even if it's low growth, as GDP rises, the same amount of debt gets smaller, the yields go down further, and you get onto a positive track of GDP growth rather than where we are now, which is a terrible position where both productivity and growth are eating each other in a downward spiral.
És a mitjanit a Barcelona.